Hello, my name is James Olsen with Reality Sales Training, and welcome to the Sales Reality Check. Today we're going to talk about listening and why it's so important to us as salespeople. Listening is the power tool, okay? It's very disarming. So think about a customer, they have their arms up, and you listen to them, and if you listen to them well, it's disarming, okay? It makes people like us. Guess what else? Most salespeople talk too much. So if you want to stand out, be a good listener, all right? Preparation is key because a lot of salespeople aren't prepared. They don't know what they're going to say. And so they walk into the call, and while the customer's talking, they're thinking about what they're going to say, and the customer feels it. If we know what we're going to say, we can do what I call laser beam the customer and listening to them with our whole heart and soul. And guess what? They'll feel it. And they'll like us better for it. And the customer's not going to listen to us unless we're listening to them. And if they have objections, we definitely have to listen to those. The customer is not going to listen to us until they've emptied their basket. All right? So when a customer gives you an objection and you jump right on the end of it and the guy says, your price is too high, and you say, no, it's not. Now you're in an argument. So you might win the argument, but you're not going to win the order. But if the customer says your price is too high and you say, John, a lot of people say that. You give them a little beat there, just a little break. John, he says your price is too high. And you say, I understand that it's higher than you've been paying, but let me tell you why we're raising the price. You give a little beat there, and they'll feel understood. But if you just jump on the other sentence, what you basically said is, I'm only here for the order, and I don't care what you say. And that is not going to make them want to buy from you, and it happens a lot, so don't do it. All right, a technical skill within the listening genre, or the listening, what I would call the listening skill set, which is an emotional skill in selling, is the follow-up question. So while the customer is talking, now that we're prepared and we're not thinking about what we're going to say, while the customer is talking, we think of an interested and interesting question. We can think about 10 times faster than people can talk, so it isn't that hard. Business questions, a great way to have a good business conversation with a person. Just really, I call it pulling on the string. And you'll be amazed at how the conversations go on, and they love talking with you if you just keep asking follow-up questions. Another really great secret of listening is what I call the throwaway comment. There is no such thing. So you call this guy, he's grumpy. His name's John. Call him up and he says, yeah, what do you want, James? He says, I'm tired. I got a million things going on. The boss is yelling at me. I got 5 trucks that are late. All of those are business related except the I'm really tired. And there's all kinds of little throwaway things if you listen for them. And you pull on that string, you say, well, why are you tired today, Pete? And he says, well, I had a fight with my wife last night, or I had to take my daughter to the emergency room at 3 in the morning. And it will open floodgates of conversations with previously reluctant customers. You'd be shocked. They're so happy. And again, it's a huge compliment to really listen to someone. So if you're giving them this really, I care about you, I'm really listening to you, it's very rare. And so you'll get results from it. All right? Piggybacking. So if the customer uses SKU instead of inventory, then we say, how are your SKUs? If he talks inventory all the time, how is your inventory? Now, so every customer that we talk to is like going to a foreign country. They have a different nuance to the language. You might even be in the same city, but use the language that your customer uses and the conversation will be smoother. They'll feel more listened to. And again, when they feel listened to, they'll listen to us. Ultimately, listening is like the commutative property of math. 2 times 3 equals 6, 3 times 2 equals 6. So a lot of salespeople say, well, I want to know how this guy thinks. And I say, okay, so listen to how they talk. So if they talk a little bit slower, that's how we're going to listen. So listen to how they talk, that's going to tell you how they listen. That's going to also tell you how they think. Now, if we know how they listen, we can influence them. If we know how they think, that's going to help our strategy. Then we're going to ultimately know how they buy. So that's the power of listening in sales. My name is James Olsen with Reality Sales Training. I appreciate you tuning into the Sales Reality Check. And until next time, let's go get an order.